into an arena of qualification. I agree with that 100%. I'm just saying, once I have my bachelor's degree or my AA or my master's degree, will it equate me being paid a certain amount of money? I don't think that's possible. Yeah, a minimum. You mentioned a minimum, so it's just some of the states, I don't know how they're going to do that. So I think that'll be a challenge.
Yeah. Are they talking about similar wages across the country, or are they talking about wages that are comparable to other professionals?
Wages that are comparable to other professionals.
That's what I was thinking. Because
so what's the difference, for example, so I can understand, just so I can understand.
So we wouldn't make the same amount as another teacher in another state whose minimum wage is much lower than ours. But we would make the same amount of money as someone who worked in the field with children that also serves them in certain ways. For instance, we shouldn't make any less than, I'm not going to say a nurse or a doctor, but a public school.
We should make the same amount of money as public school.
Okay.
If there is if they have the same requirement, 04 certification, let's say, if CPS requires an 04 certification, our preschool for all requires a 04 certification, then we all should be making the same amount of money. And we can't say that CPS can offer more because they have a bigger budget. Our budget should be the same because it's the same requirement, the same credential. So anybody who has an 04, your range should be from 47 to 55, no matter where you are.
Okay, because I'm trying to understand it in
that what makes it a professional.
I'm hearing it, but what does that look like? So thank you. I like that example because it's like, wait a minute, am I going to make the same money? You know,
like a doctor makes this amount of money no matter what state they go to.
Really?
If you are a anesthesiologist, you make this amount of money. This is your range. No matter where or what.
Okay.
If I go to Cook County Hospital, or if I go to Loyola University Hospital or Northwestern, this is the range that anesthesiologist makes. And so that's what makes it professional. There is some standards, there's some guidelines, and there's some compensation. That's what makes it professional.
Needless to say, they have not gotten to that yet.
No,
that is actually decision cycle 6 is what does comparable compensation and support look like for each level. When I went to a training at the conference recently, and the question that the presenter asked was, how many of you all were teachers before you became directors or coordinators? And then, I was talking around, people raised their hands. The first question was, who's a director and who's in the supervisor field? Tons of hands went up. How many of you all were a teacher before you became your field? Even, a lot of hands went up then. Then the next question was, how many of you all were trained to be a director or supervisor before you got that? There was hardly any hands up. So this is where the division is like
came along. Yeah, because
we need the training.
Just with the experience.
And we had
they were promoting.
And they had those initiatives, and when I was going, and you were a participant too, Atia, when we were taking like that financial management part, I was scratching my head. I don't know nothing. I never knew it. And they talked about various components, but seriously, when I was a teacher and promoted to a site director, jump in. And now, within the last 10 years, I would think they begin to initiate specific training for administrators. And it's amazing, and I wish I would have had it before I became a site director.
That came out of the race to the top. With the director, going to have credentials for directors. So it used to be you could have an AA and be a director.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
The training you were talking
childcare
about, UIC trainings, we went for leadership.
Yes.
There were a lot of directors, those who have just AA.
Yeah.
I was surprised when they were raising hand, who have degree, bachelor, who have AA. So there are a lot of directors raise hand, we have AA. I said, oh, you can be director when you have AA? That's the state requirement.
That was DCFS.
That's what
That was
director,
DCFS.
18 credit hours,
Yeah.
associate. That's a state level.
Yeah.
But I think federal level is
Head Start.
higher, Head Start is
Head Start
higher than
changed.
the
And they
state.
want to change nationally too.
Right.
And when they think about the change, maybe when you talked about the educational component, I think that if I took courses 10 to 15 to 20 years ago, there has to be a component in this whole decision making, or however you guys power to the profession, that's going to talk about continuous education in specific courses. Not I can take whatever I want to. I just need 10 credit hours or 15 credit hours. But no, maybe you need to talk about what research is looking like now and the curriculum and assessments are now, because things are constantly changing and evolving. And if I want to do what I did 15, 20 years ago, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. So things have changed. So I think that should be an expectation that we attend a specific class so that we can be current. Because
Yeah, one of the pieces that I mentioned earlier about the components that we're wanting, that the early child education profession wants to include all the way around, is continuing education requirements, certification, licensing from state board, and the legal consequences within working within the field. Wow. So that's the goal of it. It's going to encompass all of that. So yeah, it's definitely something that I'm not only going to continue to be a part of, but I want you all to also go in. You can go through NACE and sign up for it. That is called P2P, Power to Profession, at NACE.org. You can sign up to their mailing list. They tell you about the different cycles that they're going through, the process of it. Like I said, we're in decision cycle 3, 4, and 5. That decision should be made by July 1st. And this program ends December 2018. So all of the decision cycles will already be set, and then it's just a push for getting it known nationwide, and everyone hearing what we are, what we're doing, and how can we continue to grow.
Exciting times.
So, and I can definitely agree with you as far as not being ready when you're put in a role after these last few weeks. I understand how going from a teacher to a semi-supervisory role is difficult without the knowledge, the background, the information, the training. I wouldn't suggest it on my worst enemy. It takes a lot to be a director. It takes even more to be a coordinator, and then it takes even more to be a program director. So I understand. I couldn't imagine coming out of the classroom right now and jumping into Kim's role, jumping into Melissa's role, or even jumping into Delphine, Demetrius, or Nate's role. I couldn't imagine it because I haven't been trained on it. My expertise is the classroom, and anything about the classroom you can ask me, I'll try my best to have an answer for. And if I don't have the answer, I can go to Melissa. So, I'm glad that we had an opportunity to discuss about the power to profession. You all are not just directors, we're not just coordinators, we're education. We are early childhood educators, and our profession is early childhood education. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Very